beginning of a new year is a good time to reflect on the ups and downs in life. Joys and challenges are all part of life's rich pattern, and I believe that God intends it to be that way. There's the joy of growing up, a voyage of discovery and learning. Everything is fresh, and there's lots of new learning experiences. We might even have the joy of getting to know Jesus at this stage. In our late teens, there's vigour and enthusiasm, and the excitement of finding our call in life and putting our learning into action. God can help us to reason out the way forward, and He can prompt us in the right directions. In our 20s and 30s, we hope to find a partner, and many of us think of getting married. There's a joy of setting up a new home, and some will have children. We certainly need God's guidance at this time. We are laying down the bedrock for our future existence. In our 40s and 50s, the children grow up and we see them making a life for themselves. Perhaps there are nieces and nephews and grandchildren, and we can share the joys of parenthood without taking full responsibility. Pauline and I have 6 grandchildren, and what a joy it is to share our lives with them. In retirement, we find a new freedom. Time to do some of the things we've longed to do but never had the time and money to do. We can experience afresh the unfolding of God's will in our lives, and we can say no to the things which aren't right. There are lots of joys in life, much fulfillment and happiness, and so we've got a lot to say thank you to God for. Of course, life does have its problems too, and I suspect that you've been thinking of some of these. Striving to complete studies, trials of getting a job, difficulty of finding an affordable home and enough money to pay the bills, the struggle of bringing up children, unemployment, damaged or broken relationships, and sickness. All these things can combine to take away the value of the joys in life. And will the problems go away? Sadly, the answer is no. We can't have joys without problems. The two go hand in hand. That's the way life is. And sadly, the difficulties can so easily overcome us and seem like giants. But let's remember that God is on our side and He is always with us. King David fought many giants during his life, and one of the biggest was when he faced Goliath. Goliath was 9 feet tall. He had a huge suit of armour and a spear as big as a weaver's loom. He bragged of his superior strength, and he defied anyone in Israel to come and fight him so he could turn them all into slaves for the Philistines. The giant Goliath seemed impossible to defeat. Our problems can seem like this, looming above us, terrible and impossible to defeat. All might seem to be lost. And you'd have thought that David would have been afraid of Goliath, but he had a deep and trusting relationship with God. And so he said, "Who is this heathen to defy the army of the living God?" David then went on to kill Goliath with nothing but a sling and a stone. He didn't need armour. We all hate battles and we want to run away. But if we run from one battle, we will run from another, and then we will just keep on running. Then when a really big problem comes along, we will go under because we haven't gained experience and strength in fighting battles. God doesn't take the battle away from us, but He gives us the strength to work through the battles. In Romans 8, Paul says, "There is nothing that can ever separate us from the love of God. In all things we have complete victory through Him who loves us." Let's believe it, and let's give thanks to God for the joys. Let's draw upon His strength to win the battles, and may we have much blessing and joy this year as we see God's will unfold in our lives. So God bless you in the year ahead. Amen.